Hi everyone, Mahmoud here. Today in this JavaScript introduction, I am going to answer 4 frequently asked questions. What is JavaScript? What can you do with it? Where does JavaScript code run? And what is the difference between JavaScript and Ecmascript? So let's start with the first question. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is the most popular and widely used programming language in the world right now. It's growing faster than any other programming language. And the big companies like Netflix, Walmart, and PayPal build their entire applications in JavaScript. So you can work as a front-end developer, or as a back-end developer, or a full-stack developer who can do both the front-end and the back-end. Now, let's see the next question. What can you do with it? What can you do with JavaScript? For a long time, JavaScript was used only for browsers to build an interactive web page. Some developers refer JavaScript as a toy language, but these days are gone because of huge community support and investment by the large companies like Facebook and Google. These days, JavaScript. These days, you can build with JavaScript a full-blown web applications, mobile applications, as well as real-time networking applications like chats, video streaming service, command line tools, or even games. Now let's go to the third question. The third question, where does JavaScript code run? It was originally designed to run only in browsers, so every browser has a JavaScript engine that can execute JavaScript code. For example, the JavaScript engine for Firefox is SpiderMonkey, and for Chrome it's V8. In 2009, a very clever engineer called Ryan Doll took the open source JavaScript in Chrome and embedded it inside a C++ program. He called this program Node. So Node is a C++ program that includes Google's V8 JavaScript engine. Now with this we can run JavaScript code. Outside of the browser. So we can pass our JavaScript code to Node for execution, and this means with JavaScript we can build the backend for our web application and mobile applications. So in a nutshell, JavaScript code can be run inside of a browser or a node. Browsers and a node provide runtime environment for our JavaScript code. And finally, the last question, what is the difference between JavaScript and Ecmascript? Well, Ecmascript is just a specification, and JavaScript is a programming language that conforms to this specification. So we have this organization called Ecma, which is responsible for defining standards. The caretaker of this Ecma specification and the first version of Ecmascript was released in 1997. Then, starting from 2015, Ecma has been working as annual releases of new specifications. So in 2015, they released Ecmascript 2015 or ES6, which is also called ES6 specifications. Specifications define many new features for JavaScript. In our theory, let's see JavaScript in action. So if the browser has a JavaScript engine and we can in our theory, let's see JavaScript in action. So every browser has a JavaScript engine and we can easily write our JavaScript code here without any additional tools. And this is not how we are going to build our real world applications, but this just for quick demo. So open up Chrome, right click on the empty area, and go to inspect. Now this opens up a Chrome developer tools. Here select console tab. This is our JavaScript console and we can write any valid JavaScript code here. So type console.log parenthesis console.log parenthesis single quotes and write hello world, another single quotes to terminate and close the parenthesis and a semicolon at the end. Press enter. We can see hello world. We can also write mathematical expression here. For example, 2 plus 2, we get 4. We can do something like this. Alert, parenthesis, single quotes, hi, enter. And here is alert.